Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Introduction to Logic. I'm Professor Dana Delbovi, and I'm delighted to be teaching this class. This video is sort of a quick intro to the course, and it's called What is Logic? Now, according to our book, logic is an organized body of knowledge for evaluating arguments. Now, they don't mean arguments like having a fight arguments. What they mean are arguments where you have a kind of a set of logical propositions that have evidence in them from facts to support your points. And we use arguments all the time. We use them when we have marketing plans, for example. You make an argument to convince your client why your marketing strategy is the right one to use. You use an argument when you write an email or a letter to make a sale of a product or service. There you are trying really hard to give reasons why a client should buy that product. Certainly we all know about legal arguments that are made in a courtroom or arguments that are made on legal briefs in support of a certain case. Supreme Court justices build arguments all the time in what they write. So arguments really are everywhere. Now it's my own view, and not shared by everyone, but it is my view, that the logic of argumentation, the basic process of building logic into what we say, is a very natural process. And people do it quite easily using the set of facts as evidence that they possess. Another view I have, again, not shared by everybody, but something that I really think is true, is that the use of logic in daily life, which is essentially critical thinking when you come right down to it, the use of logic requires certain kinds of character traits. It requires courage, it requires perseverance, it requires things like that. Let me give you an example. It requires a lot of courage to look at the logic of a situation, to look at the evidence, to set that evidence up in a logical kind of argument, to maybe debunk or to let go of a very cherished belief that you have. Here's an example. A lot of parents will identify with this. You have a kid, right, and seems like she's pretty good at sports. She's pretty athletic as a 2-year-old, jumping around, looking good. So you start signing her up for soccer and basketball and baseball and gymnastics or anything else that you sign her up for. And wow, she's looking pretty good. And you develop a cherished belief that, maybe she'll be a college athlete. I think based on the evidence here, she's going to be a college athlete. Well, a few more years go by and you see more kids entering this program and you start to get some evidence that maybe she's not really among the top. Like she looked pretty good when she was 4, but now that she's 10, in comparison to others, maybe not so good. If you are a good critical thinker, if you are logical, you will have also the courage to be able to look at the logic and say, I've gotten a lot of evidence now, and maybe I need to kind of let go of my cherished dream that my daughter's going to be a collegiate athlete. Okay, that's sort of phase 1. You might also have another cherished belief, which is that hard work is all that really counts. And if she were to work harder, she would become a college athlete. She just has to put her nose to the grindstone and really try. So you nag her and you push her and you nag her and you sign her up and you do all this stuff to make her work harder to become a college athlete because you have a belief that hard work is what's going to make the difference here. Well, you start to look at the situation, you see how unhappy maybe she is, you see that even with all the hard work, she's still not as good as other people. And again, if you have the courage to really look at things and follow where the logic is taking you, you might get to the point where you can finally say, you know what, I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to stop forcing her, and I'm going to let my child maybe explore a few things that she is interested in, and let her work maybe at the level that she feels comfortable for a while. That takes a lot. It takes a lot to use logic to help you let go of cherished beliefs. but I also feel that that is really an essential thing to be able to do in life. So anyway, just some housekeeping things. I really want you to focus on the required reading for this course. Look at the required reading and read it carefully, maybe even over and over. I gave you a few extra optional materials each week in the syllabus. That is the only extra stuff I want you to look at. And again, it's optional. It's optional to the required reading. Now, why do I do this? The last thing I want you to do is be jumping all over the internet to try to find things. It will only confuse you. It will lead you to writing that isn't clear. It will lead you to writing that goes against some of the stuff that's in our textbook. Don't do it. The best way to study philosophy is to look at the required reading and totally focus on that and only use that extra material that I give you. Don't look for any other extra material. If you're still having trouble, give me a call, okay? Or send me an email or a text, whatever you like, but reach out to me for help. That's really one of the most important things you can do. The other thing I want to call your attention to is at the end of the syllabus, I have a set of tips for how to write the essays that are in this course. We have 5 short essays and 1 reflective essay at the end that's a little bit longer. And there's a way to write those that is kind of like a formula. And I want you to take a look at those tips and write that way. And if you have any questions about that, do get in touch with me. So welcome, and I'm looking forward to teaching this course. Thanks. Bye.